my name is Dr. Ruthie, Dr. Ruth Newstifter if you want to be formal. I'm a professional sexuality educator and I'm also university faculty. But today I'm here answering your questions about sex and relationships thanks to the great folks at funwares.com. So make sure you go over there and say thanks to them and say hi. If you want to send me a question, you can write to the email address right down there, AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. Here's a question I got from that very email address. Now, I want to warn you before I start this question that when I read it, I fully believe this is an absolutely honest, real question. You may hear it and think to yourself at first, like, whoa, you know, this person is really into anal play a lot more than I am, so the question won't apply to me. But you know what? I actually get a lot of questions about safety and possible risk around anal play, especially for people who feel like they're inserting things that are larger than other folks are inserting, so this may actually apply to you. So definitely listen up. Hi, Dr. Ruthie. Hello. I have recently started to experiment with butt plugs and anal stretching. So what does anal stretching mean? To step away from the question, it means like working your way up to inserting larger and larger things in your butt, slowly, delicately, carefully, and with lots of lube. My girlfriend and I want to get me to the point where I can accept her whole hand with very little discomfort. I've always loved the sensation of my sphincter being stretched as well as the feeling of being filled. The first butt plug I bought myself had a maximum circumference of 13 inches. I know I jumped the gun there. I have a few glass butt plugs that go up to about 9 inches. I found that I am most comfortable at this size, but I do want to go bigger and maybe someday be able to take my largest 13-inch toy. I'm well aware that it is key to move slow and use lots of lube. However, I've seen that anal stretching can do to a person if they stretch too large. To me, it resembles a form of body modification, such as gauging your ears. My question is, if I continue to pursue this course, is it possible that I could lose the muscle tone in my sphincter and possibly become incontinent? Also, is it reversible through self-healing or only through surgical repair? Thanks for the videos. You've been very informative. Signed, I won't read the first part, but Boy Toy. Thank you so much for the email, Boy Toy, and I think your question is a very good one. People worry a lot about doing some sort of permanent damage to their orifice, whether it's their vagina or their anus, by taking large things, or too many partners, or lots of other different things. There's a big worry that people will somehow look different, or be different, or be noticeably different in some way to their partners if they have a lot of sex on the receiving end of penetration, whether it's anally or vaginally. So I actually hear this kind of question a lot, although rarely with such detailed measurements involved as you have been kind enough to provide. So first, congratulations on finding something that you really like doing with your partner, and hopefully that they like doing too. And that's awesome. You know what you like, and you're pursuing it in a very mindful, health-conscious manner. So that means that you're using tons and tons of lube, that you're taking your time, and both within the session, but also by working yourself up to new sizes of things in your butt slowly, not all maybe within the same session, so over weeks and months and years and things like that. So your question is, you've seen what anal stretching can do to a person if they stretch too large. I'm not sure what you're referring to by that you've seen it. There is a series of pictures that have been around on the internet for years and years of this guy, and it's a picture of his anus, but it's all like puffy and huge and like kind of weird and mutant looking. And that's actually Photoshop. That's not real. And so if that's what you're thinking of, don't worry, that's not a real picture. Now, if you've been hunting around on medical sites or a Google image search and you've seen some unfortunate real photos, that can be quite frightening. If you were going at it in the slow, consensual, body-positive way with lots of lube and things like that, that is unlikely to happen to you, especially if you stop at any signs of discomfort and either cease for then or slow down and work yourself up with more lube and more time or whatever your body may need. These muscles can really stretch a lot. And here's the deal, there's not a lot of good research on your particular question, so my answer to you is anecdotal. Have people hurt themselves and require surgery? Yes, absolutely, this has happened. It can happen again. This is generally when the person is a victim of some really terrible sexual violence, or if they push themselves too far, or quite frequently they've been taking drugs and so they weren't aware of their body's signals about stopping and really just took it too far. Now, those are the things that you'll hear about in research because these folks, end up in the hospital and stuff like that. However, there is a very robust community of folks who like to put big things in their butts. And what you're talking about taking your partner's hand is called fisting, which you probably know, but maybe other people watching don't. There's a lot of people who really enjoy fisting, work their way up to double fisting, all sorts of things like that. And I've met quite a few of these folks myself, and I've asked them, do you have incontinence issues? And they've said no. The only thing is that they've gained greater muscle control for relaxing as well as tightening, and that they have a goal of taking larger items, but they tend to sometimes be less satisfied with smaller items. And you may have already discovered this. But your goal is to go for size, so perhaps that's not a concern for you. So the last thing I would say is, this may be difficult and challenging, but I would really strongly encourage you to find a physical health practitioner, a doctor, or physician that you can inform of what you're doing so that they can help you to do it safely and help you to monitor your anal health. Now, where to find somebody like this? The first suggestion I would have is that you, if you live in a city that is fortunate enough to have a gay and lesbian health center, that you might call them. Physicians at those centers may be more familiar with the type of play you're talking about. Not that gay people are all wild and crazy and all gay people love fisting or anything like that, but that they may have just general broader training on diverse sexual practices. Right, so I would call them and ask. You don't have to give your name, and just say, like, look, this is something I engage in. You don't even have to disclose the gender of your partner if you don't want to, and just say, like, I want a doctor who understands this. I'm not having problems, but I want to work with them to make sure I don't have problems in the future. And so that if there is, if a problem starts to happen, I can be open and honest. So I say it's worth finding a doctor that you can be that open and honest with. You can also try your existing doctor if you have one, and see how it goes. And just brace yourself. They have to be confidential. At least the doctors in the areas where I've been to. But gauge your own comfort level around boldness with this, and use the phone if you can't bring it up face to face. Go face to face if you're ready for it. I'm Dr. Ruthie. I hope that these answers help you. Have fun and continue to be safe and good to your body, and enjoy your explorations. And I'll see you at the next video.